Rita, there was also this week an interesting debate between Gavin Newsom, who's the Governor of California, and Ron DeSantis, who we've always said, would be great as a US president. But it wasn't actually a presidential debate. Just tell us about it and what happened.
Well, yes, the governors of California and Florida. It was fascinating to watch. And I've got to say, you don't have to be a conservative. I think anyone who watched that objectively would tell you that DeSantis cleared the floor with him. Newsom just looked like a fool. But there were a couple of moments that I think really just illustrate the dominance of DeSantis. Let's just have a look.
This is a map of San Francisco. There's a lot of plots on that. You may be asking, what is that plotting? Well, this is an app where they plot the human feces that are found on the streets of San Francisco. And you see how almost the whole thing is covered, because that is what has happened in one of the previous greatest cities this country's ever had, except when a communist dictator comes to town. Then they cleaned up the streets. So I was talking to a fella who had made the move from California to Florida, and he was telling me that Florida is much better governed, safer, better budget, lower taxes, all this stuff. And he's really happy with the quality of life. And then he paused and he said, by the way, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law. So we do count Gavin's in-laws as some of the people that have fled California and come to the state of Florida.
Outstanding. But, despite the destruction he's overseen in California, Gavin is probably going to be a Democrat presidential candidate.
And this is the thing that actually, I know there's some really funny gags in that and some great lines. I think DeSantis, put on a very good show, probably the better shows we've seen from him in quite some time. Maybe being out of the sort of the spotlight of the whole fight with Trump has been good for him there. But the thing about Gavin Newsom is he is absolutely, did you see that smiling narcissistic performance that he put on there?
A Californian with a narcissistic smile?
I know.
Come on.
But I mean, that is exactly the sort of person that the Democrats will run, and they will try to win, because he has no principles, and he will do exactly to the United States what he has done to California. Mark my words.
And he is, just about everything he said during that debate was a verifiable lie. It was just incredible, the ease with which he lies and gaslights. But as you saw, he's got a lot of advantages. I mean, not only the fact that Democrats love him, he's good looking, he's young, he's well spoken. Yeah, what he says doesn't have much substance, but you can see him just getting the media adoration. He would get,
and I mean, there's a lot of talk about, and I keep saying I don't think Biden's going to be the guy on the ticket. I don't think it'll be Newsom either this year, but watch out 2028.
Down the track.
But because he's the sort of guy who the media will love, and they'll say the torch is passed to a new generation. And Democrats are so cultish now that they will vote against their own interests in a place like California and all these other big cities where they keep voting in Democrats who are destroying the joint, and they say, no, it's fine because we're Democrats, and anything bad that happens to us, we deserve it. So bring it on.
I'm going to jump in there. We'll carry on this discussion later.
What will be, just before, he will be treated by the media like the white Barack Obama. He is going to be that beloved. The campaign will be absolutely enormous. And when we've got a little bit of time later in the program, let's talk about the absolute cesspit that is Chicago.
Yes,
there.
Can we please?